Welcome back, everyone, to the Britball YouTube channel. Today we're carrying on our famous series concerning massive series of covering the last 5 years of first round picks for every NFL franchise. By the way, just disclaimer: the barbers are closed in England, and they've been closed since about last October, and and they're not going to open for another couple months. So that's why the hair's a fucking mess.
I've got my sister doing my hair, but I'm still wearing a hat.
Yeah, because it's a mess. And then we're doing draft coverage.
Yeah, let's get back to what we're actually getting not paid to do.
Okay.
Baltimore Ravens.
First up, we have got Patrick Queen, taken as the fourth linebacker in the draft. Out of LSU. He was a vital part of that famous team. A bit of a mixed bag, again, of a first year. To describe him, you'd say erratic. Kind of plays a bit crazy. As you said before, he only knows how to play one speed, and that is full on
full pelt
sprints. And you can see him just totally commit sometimes, make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But some good stats.
Yeah, the full pelt thing. I did some research and it said the rookie review is like advantages. He has one speed, full pelt. Disadvantages, he has one speed, full pelt. So it's a 50-50 whether his speed actually affects how he plays. He did start all 16 games this season, and there's the stats there. His PFF grade is I didn't realise it was that
29.
low. He's a very aggressive linebacker. He's the best at blitzing the quarterback. He's got a potentially very high ceiling, but from what we've seen of him, he's also got a very low floor because he doesn't know when to stop. He runs so quickly, like a headless chicken sometimes. He's been caught out of position. He's been a bit shoddy on pass coverage, and then he's a bit inconsistent. But the thing is, he still had a decent season. There was some months where he was, there was some calls him to become defensive rookie of the month, and then other seasons and in other months he's just all over the shop. But he needs to get consistent, and I think the Ravens head coach and coaching staff need to sort of calm him down a little bit. But apart from that, he's been alright, to be fair. Hollywood Brown.
Next, Hollywood Brown. So this was a weird wide receiving class. He probably was the best wide receiver in that class at the time. Clearly not now.
Better than N'Keal Harry, at least.
Yeah, better than N'Keal Harry. This was obviously the draft when DK Metcalf fell all the way to the Seahawks. But everyone did think Marquise Brown was the sure prospect, and he hasn't been that bad, just not all that good. He is part of a wide receiving group where he has to carry the load, but then you'd think maybe he'd have better stats if he has to carry it that much. And of course, the quarterback isn't the most throw-friendly.
It's a running back. It's not a quarterback, it's a running back.
Yeah, so, I mean, decent stats, 8 touchdowns, 700 receiving yards, but there is a massive need for wide receivers in this group, and partly because of Marquise Brown not being the wide receiver one that he should be.
I've got in two seasons, he's got 1,353 yards, 15 touchdowns in 2 seasons, which itself isn't even that bad. 61% catch completion percentage, that's pretty good. But he doesn't get targeted because they've got a running back and a quarterback who prefers to run more than he does throw, especially downfield. He's not a running back. I do love Lamar, but when you've got a guy that is athletic as he is, you have to accept the fact you're not going to be targeted as much as possible. He's 5'9" as well. I didn't actually realise.
He looks tiny in this picture.
He's skinny as anything, and he's 5'9".
His helmet's bigger than his body.
The only criticism I've got for him is that he needs to put up more stats, but you can't really do that when you've got someone who runs a lot. So, in terms of the impact, he's above average. He's not average. He's not a world beater. He's in between. So it's a hit. Yeah, he's done a good job.
I'll let you take Hayden Hurst. You like Hayden Hurst.
I like Hayden. He got a C- through no fault of his own. He was drafted in 2018 with Lamar. I think it was 7 picks before Lamar. out of South Carolina, and interestingly, he was actually drafted in the MLB. I think 5 years beforehand, and then
really,
yeah, he was drafted in the MLB.
5 years.
He was drafted in 2012 for the whatever Pirates. I don't know MLB, but he was drafted 17th or whatever, or like 17th round, and now he's in the NFL. There's.
We have to cut. My mum's called me 4 times. Hello? Yeah. No. Nope. Because I ordered Domino's. I was in the video, but I saw you call me like 4 times, so. Why?
Whoa.
What did you want? No. Why could I? What, did you call me 4 times just for that? What was what? That would have been weird timing. Would have been like freaky timing. If you're driving home, then surely there's shops on the way. Oh, okay. Can't Stephen drop you home? Okay. Move 4 times just to fucking get something from the shop. I ain't going. Alright.
Okay.
Fuck, sorry.
That's right. I'll start again with Haydenhurst.
Okay.
Right.
Let me put my hood back on.
And she'll come back in. We'll have to stop again, so that's fine. Right. Cool.
Shall I go like you like Hayden Hurst?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, now we've got Hayden Hurst, which he likes very much, so I'll let him talk about
it. He spent 2 years in Baltimore after being drafted out of South Carolina. He got a C-, but it's through no fault of his own. Because he played 28 games in 2 seasons and he started 4. I mean, the stats on the screen here, that's for the stats he got at the Falcons this past season. His one and only season with the Falcons. In the 2 seasons he had with Baltimore, he got 512 receiving yards. And he's already beaten that in his first season and more with the Falcons. He got 3 touchdowns in that time. His catch completion percentage was basically 70%. And they traded him and a 4th round pick for a 2nd and 5th round picks. He didn't lose a terrible amount of value, but he lost value because he wasn't played, and he actually requested a trade because he wanted to show the NFL what he could do if he was given the playing time, which he is at the Falcons. He's doing very well there. He's highly talented, but Mark Andrews was always going to start ahead of him because Mark Andrews is very, very good as well. It's through no fault of his own that this guy got a C- and ended his time in Baltimore the way he did. It's just a shame that he can't play 2 tight ends every single game, every single play. So he got a C-, but I feel for him.
Yeah, I agree with what you say, to be honest. Next we've got Lamar, the running back. So it was
It's a quote though. It's like not bad for a running back. He said himself.
I mean, what a pick at 32nd overall. I mean, the 5th quarterback taken in the stacked quarterback class at the time. Obviously he won the MVP the season before last, with ridiculous stats. They have taken a bit of a step down this year, but still elite amount of rushing yards for a quarterback, probably the best ever in the rush sense. Passing yards could do with a bit of work, but still a lot of passing touchdowns, which are pretty much all to Mark Andrews. But
his picks went up as well this season.
Yeah, his picks has gone up
to 9, I'm pretty sure.
And even when it counts in the playoffs, so I'll shove that pick 6 in every video that I can.
The only criticism I've got with Lamar Jackson is that he has a problem with the deep throw, the deep ball, because when he throws, it's not 40, 50 yards.
Pretty
down.
Football.
It's not pretty football.
As the herd says.
Yeah, he's not. I think it's fair. Some critics don't have him in the top elite bracket of football of in terms of quarterbacks, where it's like Rodgers, Mahomes, Russell Wilson. I think him and Deshaun Watson are literally just outside it, teetering on the edge of getting in. But he's only this is his third year. He's only 3 years in. Give it a couple of years, he'll be there, no doubt. He runs like hell. He passes very well. 2019 MVP. I remember the clip of the commentators like, oh, he broke his ankles and he spun someone against the Miami Dolphins.
In that season, he did that every week.
That was brilliant. I love 2019. He had a bit of a regression, but he'll bounce back easily. Easily one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
And he's a game plan problem. Next, we've got Marlon Humphrey, who I like a lot.
Yeah, I like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's part of the system in Baltimore where they have to have 2 really good corners. Oh my god. I nearly just spilt shit everywhere. Yeah, so he's part of the system where the corners have to be elite because they rush both of the safeties up into the box every snap. So Marlon Humphrey's got a lot of responsibility in his hands. As you can see in the stats, he's the second most targeted corner in the league, and he's managed to allow only 66 receptions, which on the face value is a lot, but when you're targeted that much, you're going to allow a lot of receptions. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, he's a stud, and he's alongside a very good corner, Marcus Peters, and I don't think they'll change his pick for the world, to be honest.
No, this is what his third or fourth season in now, or year fourth season. He's got 8 picks, 51 passes defended, 11 forced fumbles, and 218 tackles. The Ravens are definitely the Ravens' top corner, one of the best in the league. He's third in most tackles for a corner in his position, and 7th in receptions allowed in 2020. This is, gassy Red Bull. Reading routes, tracking routes, following the receiver. He's a brilliant. He doesn't let big plays happen against him. He's a clutch player. Very hard in the tackle as well. He's
9 forced fumbles this year.
Yeah, that's huge. He's huge in the tackle. He decapitates people like some Bills linebacker should.
Shut up.
Alright. I love him.
Another great pick next with Ronnie Stanley.
Oh god, this guy.
Definitely an A+ pick. This is one of the best left tackles in the league.
Every single game he's played.
Every single game. A guy that might not grab the headlines apart from how much he's paid, but he might not grab the headlines. He just slotted in, plug and play. He's been at a Pro Bowl level since, and he just chills. Yeah.
In December 2019, he was named the best pass blocking tackle in the NFL. And in October 2020, which this was the highest at the time, it's obviously it's third now, it's not anymore, but in October 2020 he signed a 5-year contract worth just under $113 million for 5 years, which was the highest at the time. He was a first team All-Pro in 2019, Pro Bowl selection. He only played 6 games last season because of injury, but apart from that, he's been relatively injury-free. He is one of the best owned linemen in the league, without a shadow of a doubt. And he's only, I think he's 26, 27. He's still got loads of time ahead of him, and he's going to be at Baltimore for a long, long time.
Yeah, and this is a system that asks a lot of their tackles as well. You've got to be able to move. You've got to run loads of different run schemes, some pass schemes, and the holes that they create to let Lamar run through or their running backs run through are amazing.
Well, there was 3 running
stud.
backs they had.
It's an A+.
Yeah.
It's a home run. It's a great pick from Baltimore once again.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, I've noticed with all of this, the lowest one we've had was Hayden Hurst, which was a C-, and that was through no fault of his own.
Yeah.
And the rest of them were A's, A+. Who else have we had? B+, B for Patrick Queen. So I think notoriously, and it's safe to say, that Baltimore is very, 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 very good at drafting.
Yeah, we all know Baltimore ran like a tight ship. They're very good, and every single player that they've drafted is good. We might have given Hayden Hurst a bad grade because they didn't get a lot out of him, but he's a good player, and they're all good. And their GM always does good work.
They know their talent, don't they?
And Harbaugh always coaches players up well. So yeah, overall a pretty clean slate.
And especially for a team that because of recent years how good they are, they draft late in the first rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Stanley was the 6th overall pick, one of their off seasons, but
and that was their in between.
Yeah.
Flacco Super Bowl era. And then, like, a couple of years ago, they've picked it up again.
So, for a team that's supposedly picking up the dead weight of the first round late on, they've done very, very well.
Good.
They've done very well. So, that's the Ravens.
That is the Ravens.
Halfway through the NFC North already.
Exactly. Next up, we'll do Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're really, really biased against them. Really biased.
We'll try and maintain a level head and all, but when it comes to one little shit stirring of a wide receiver.
Yeah, and I might as well just warn you, like, if our expert judging of picks somehow makes them all go to C's and D's, that's not our fault. That is just the way we're judging them, okay? So yeah, we'll catch you guys in that very good video.
See you later.